Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability?
If I may interject, High Scholar, don't you agree our time would be better utilized on more relevant discourse?
Seer Wiley's right, as always. Obviously, we've all more important things to do than to stand around trifling with truth tables. Perhaps later then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Ridge? Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the En-Ray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution. Besides the highly caustic Zeranium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay. Rift worshippers spouting inane theories. They began showing up prior to the invasion. The first sign of dysfunction in the Protectorate always starts small, doesn't it? Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Anti's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Choosing levity at a moment like this is only further evidence of your lack of good judgment.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend. But the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. Most assuredly not. It would eliminate the entire point of the ceasefire. Please convey that fact to whomever you speak with. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will.
a calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis. Yes.
Seer Wily is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on Seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine. Oh, indeed. I needn't educate you on what you can see with your very eyes. There is a great deal of pressure on me to navigate what is a rather novel situation. Without Wily, I dare say our predicament here would be even more precarious. Many lives depend on him, on us both. Why, Matriarch's Mercy would not be the refuge it is without his predictions shepherding its development. Both, I should hope. We've been collaborating for many years, and, plan willing, for many more to come. Especially given how very uncertain life in the colony has become. That is a statue of the Matriarch, Alexandra Varric, Arcadia's founder and for whom the monastery was named after. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-order members at the moment, given recent troubles. But perhaps Seer Wily can give us an estimation of its reopening.
Oh, certainly. According to my calculations, the monastery will be accessible to certain members of the public shortly.
Haha, good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit. The observatory is a true sight to behold.
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. Well, if the Archivist said so, I suppose I can factor out a moment. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one could hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. Appreciate you respecting my time.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you? Mathematical predictions always keep us one step ahead. My latest augury noted that a stranger would come bearing an inconvenient message. This is about the exclusion zone, correct? Or that it only that simple, but she ignores essential variables of the equation. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. We don't know, and therein lies the frustration. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, "An outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute." And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold. The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started? I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. But you already knew that. According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain. More than usual, in fact. Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rollo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one, as a laugh. Everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on. Sure, but I've had 9 POPs so far, and at least 3 times something similar happened. Avoided drowning in a culvert, sidestepped my mantisaur allergy. Forget the other. Things like that just illustrate the fragile nature of human existence, especially here in Golden Ridge. My co-occupant Ike had a POP done and told him avoid liquids for 48 hours. He ignored it. Later got drunk, passed out, drowned face first in a puddle of water. You did catch the part I said they'd saved my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already.
You ever cough so hard your ankles hurt? I'll try not to sneeze on you, but no promises. Law, finally. Real relief for my fake symptoms. Let's see it then. If it's all the same, I'll give it to someone in real need. I've got more practice ahead of me. Wouldn't want to spoil it by seeking treatment. You have my gratitude, stranger.
You got business? No? Move on. You the fixer lent your aid to Agent Galloway? Don't suppose you got that crawling hibiscus she promised to sneak me, huh? Forget it. You can come in.
Hello. You're the one that aided us in availing Sub Rosa of a rather large shipment of Spectrum vodka, yes? Agent Galloway is slightly less trustful than most feral canids, so winning her over speaks volumes of your character. Consequently, I'm pleased to present you purchase access to my fine wares. It's fortunate you're no stranger to contraband. It's superb cover and a consistent market. Refugees are in need of all sorts of supplies that the Order cannot provide, and Sub Rosa delivers, at only a reasonable markup. Myself, I enjoy the thrills of the environ. Will the Order attempt to drive me out? Will Matriarch's mercy be shelled? Shall I run out of new cereals? Oh, thrilling! Agreed. You'd do well in Sub Rosa with that philosophy. Supposing you didn't get killed anyhow. We stand that we'd like to make a good ton of bits on the war, and maybe expand our reach in the process. Beyond that, I'm not supposed to comment. But Sub Rosa consists primarily of ex-Anti's Choice and ex-Protectorate personnel. We've still got folks we care about out there. Complicates some of our feelings on the fighting. But if the fighting stops, our income begins to go dry. Feast thine eyes on the merchandise.
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Oh yeah, Duarte. He's former Antis like me. He was underneath for a few hours. Or, no, that was before. This time it was Rollo Nast? No. Gert Valkenburg. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone, so they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down. Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes. They're doing something, which is better than nothing, but not by much.
Scienticians around the settlement inform me you've made some inquiries. Good, good. Continue poking around further, though. You must earn both sides' trust, you know. Have you spoken to all representatives of the Order? All of the displaced? The Doctor? The questionable types from Sub Rosa? Investigated the containers? If not, do. Well then, if you need me in the meantime, I'll be here, up to my ocular organs and requests. Besides what I've already told you, to put it gently, disorganized, which is irregular for a group that prides itself on mathematical acumen. But with effort, patience, and collaboration, I am confident that Matriarch's Mercy will soon be a haven for the displaced. Good. Check in with me once you've made significant progress. As with probability, there is an art to mediation, and it requires a well-rounded perspective.
Hope you appreciated how I bit my tongue back there with the abbot. Didn't want things to come to blows with civilians in the crossfire. Full of excuses for the attack, wasn't he? Could be that he's sincere, or could be that he has his hands so full with keeping his community from falling apart that he missed a memo or two. Either way, I'm willing to stay my hand until we know the truth. If it were my folk buried under the rubble, if Ortiz was among them, I'd want to know for certain before acting. Besides, ain't nobody around here better suited for investigating than we are. I prefer doing my shooting after asking all the pertinent questions, Commander. While we're at it playing detective, we need to scope out opportunity. If there are any survivors, we ought to help, however we're able. I can only hope they had warning enough to run for cover. If they didn't, well, there's only so much basic training can prepare you for. Once endured a week-long bombardment in a foxhole with only enough rations to last 3 days. Screams went on twice that long. Some of us still ain't fully recovered. We should move on, unless you got something for me? Commander, you got a minute to talk? I got some thoughts on this situation with the refugees. The number of folks seeking refuge from the war is, well, it's beyond what I expected, and beyond what the Order is capable of handling, seems like. Andes may not be faring much better here, but we could at least find enough work for these folk to buy some food. You sure? He seems more concerned with the Order's reputation than anything else. It's a tough situation, that's all I'm saying. But if the Order can't even manage tens of folk at their doorstep, they ain't gonna manage much better should they win the war. But nothing's ever really free, is it? I went through this myself when Anti's Choice took over Tau Ceti. It took time to secure the merger, but once they did, we folk got the help we needed real quick. And all they wanted in return was the signing of an employment contract. Now, I ain't seeing any contracts in Matriarch's Mercy, so what is the Order actually gaining by doing this? They'd have to be evil to even think of them as such. And they'd have to be stupid to think that's a line nobody would cross. The Order doesn't strike me as either. Anyhow, if the Order is in fact helping these folk with no hidden aims, then, well, I'll be the first to admit that there might just be merit in what they're selling. Appreciate you hearing me out.
Yes? Did the missive not play, or was it garbled in some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? If so, to be clear, Zerania Manufactory 7 presently and for an indeterminate time is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Wait, you have a writ? From the abbot? But we don't have any means of... yes, they said they have a... yes, sir. This is Factor Metadier. Am I to understand you have orders from the abbot? Quite convenient for you. I have no way of verifying without allowing you entry. Very well. Come inside and we'll see this sorted. Building on the left.
So, the abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're contending with all manner of emergencies, did he? Wait, is that an Auntie's Choice enhanced soldier with you? Oh, I see what this is. Stay back. We have no desire to escalate things further. Don't do something you'll regret.
We want answers, not a fight. And if indeed there's any retribution to be had, it won't be by my hand. Tell him, Commander.
Surely. Far be it from me to question the irreproachable prudence of an enigmatic caller. Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda below. I'll send word you're en route, but fair warning, I cannot predict what reception you will receive. I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the facility, I'll be along straight away. The recent attack may have originated from this facility, but I assure you it was not at our hand. We have no desire to resume open warfare with Auntie's Choice. One of our transport pods, filled with Zeranium, was diverted toward, or more specifically at, their location. We have a working hypothesis about who is responsible. Initial evidence looks rather conclusive, and we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow seized control of the manufactory operations. This facility has been an archetypical example of constancy and regularity. Ergo, the last place anyone would predict anything unpredicted would occur. Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch controls. Though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below, a move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions. Both of them? Well, one can hardly argue against thoroughness. I admit I'm to a reasonable degree pleased you are on hand to corroborate current suppositions. May your query yield favorable results.
Ah, yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the abbot, gallivanting about amidst a lockdown. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. I oversee this manufactory and all personnel, including those here under false pretenses. Apparently like this Initiate Alva. It's plainly obvious what her story is. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. Within a beat of us hearing of the attack, Alva seized command of the system and locked herself in the control center. She then forcefully repelled several attempts to extricate her. 2 are dead already. Poor Jacobs lost a hand trying to pry free the outer doors. Why, she could destroy this entire place at any moment from in there. I implore you to stop her before she does so. I fear violence may be our only recourse. Whatever for. We've already established her guilt. Failed to see the use, frankly. I suppose some limited nosing about before dispatching her wouldn't hurt. Presuming she doesn't kill us all in the meantime. I'll be in my office. Let me know once she's no longer a problem.
And who are you, dear? You're what? Some maverick for hire? Oh, no, I can see it now. Earth Directorate, yes? Like Commander Zane and that rascal Buddy. And who was that you brought with you? A friend? Ah, an Auntie's Choice grafted soldier. You poor dear. And someone else. Another Earth Directorate agent, I see. Seems sad.
Is she talking about me?
All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. I expect few in the Order know of you, but, well, I've kept to a role here that is purposely not very taxing. Others prefer calculations in their spare time. I have my stories. Between launches, I enjoyed serials, two-bit dreadfuls, periodicals. I adore Zane and Buddy, even if they are considered contraband. And you decidedly share their upright bearing. For the longest time, I didn't realize your organization actually existed. But here you are, well-timed and, no doubt, eager to help. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Our transport pod leveled Outpost Opportunity. I immediately realized someone must have bypassed my terminal. I initiated a lockdown to block further tampering. Had I not, additional attacks may have continued. Now, despite a long record of dedicated service, who's being blamed for this calamity? Me, somehow. Dear me, I wish I did, but... Actually, there may be a way you could gain answers here. The firing record should contain all relevant details regarding the launch. Why, yes, I could unseal access to the records repository for you, and open the path leading there. I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. Certainly, of course. If you help me uncover who's responsible, I will gladly open this door. Appreciate your help, dear. Please return when you have found something.
Well, hello. Have an update to share with Initiate Alva?
Hello. I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were away. Understand you've met?
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time. Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our situation here, and I have deemed it wise to investigate further. Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. A recent security audit brought up several curious messages meant for an unknown party, sent from a terminal somewhere on the premises. We were unable to track down the whereabouts of this mystery terminal, but one message contained certain oblique references to placing blame. Nothing conclusive, yet enough to give me pause.
You examined the launch records, yes? Did you find anything, dear? I'd say they've obviously been altered, dear. Fancy that odor you detected, a sign of chemicals used to effect the falsification. Ah, but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent imagination. But still, even the most junior scientician knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply two further avenues of inquiry. A Zeranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think? I expect the Zeranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit.
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would likely look to do it there.
Oh, I'm full of hidden depths, dear, but this isn't the time. Later, I promise. Anything you want to know, from my first science crush to my scientician aptitude test scores. All right. There. I've unsealed both areas. With hope, what you discover will help us determine the responsible party.
I'll stay here and play for more time. If the Proctor sends anyone, I'll say I'm close to convincing you to surrender.
Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is Handy with doors? Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely. I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check my terminal. The door was creaky to open. I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside. Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch serials and read all day. Strange question, but yes, all commands path through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some commands from operations. Not sure which ones. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing or were in a rush, or both. Well, that's about everything I know about everything. Let you be on your way.
I'd been hoping an empiricist or assessor would amble by, but you appear reasonably apt. The Zeranium overflow venting has gone completely haywire. Oh, what else will this higgledy-piggledy nightmare of a day bring? I was ordered to keep watch until a specialist arrives. Might I entreat you to act in such a capacity? The control board to divert the flow of Zeranium is up yonder in refinery logistics. If so, I have something for your time and effort. Oh. Well, I might have kept the item in question then. No matter. It should guarantee you remain motivated to see it through. We developed a pharmaceutical primer that, technically it poisons you a little, but also heals you quite effectively. Shut off the gas, it's yours. Tremendous. Why, this day may average toward the positive yet. Zeranium overflow venting has returned to a non-haywire state, and my internal levels of disquietude have lessened along with it. With the leak abated, I am fully prepared to be peppered with queries. Now that you mention it, yes, I recall I was worried about one crisis, and my mind was completely occupied by this other crisis nearby. I must admit, I haven't given the attack a single thought since. I do hope everyone's okay. Not much. Keeps to herself mostly. Or that is entirely. Like all of us, she resided in the barracks 15 degrees to the northeast from here. You mean just after the attack occurred? I was in a state of anxiety at the time, and, well, I'm sure you're aware higher levels of cortisol can impede the encoding of memory. Ah, quite right. Anything else? I am greatly grateful you were helpful and effective. Farewell. This card will allow you into our humble little research lab. It's right past operations, can't miss it, unless you do. The pharmaceutical primer I mentioned is inside on display.
Why, we were just talking about you.
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation, downstream outcomes, and such and the like.
You know how the Order is, always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
That you found evidence that the coordinates were rerouted is definitely something. Would be an odd step for Alva here to take, except perhaps to throw blame elsewhere.
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. And yes, why would I reroute coordinate commands away from here? I'm sufficiently certain our proctor is conspiring with an outside party, so I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished. And you're an initiate. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you dears to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Her possible involvement notwithstanding, Constance Svoboda is an Order Proctor, and I cannot abide her cold-blooded murder, especially by someone we clearly know so little about. You are far more capable than some back manufacturing button pusher. Who are you, really?
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. My name is not Miriam Alva. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint.
Marisol's fine, thank you, dear.
I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. The rumors about your department. They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid.
That you are who you are, and are standing right, and have been here for years. It's all much to digest. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda. Yes, you did work for Orlo, didn't you? If the former bishop trusted you to intercede when necessary, I suppose I must as well. I won't stand in your way.
A wise calculation, my friend. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Svoboda has much to answer for. Let's go see that she does.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it?
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything. Before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation.
Wait, you can't possibly believe this balderdash. This is all nothing more than a flagrant example of artifice and bunco. An elaborate song and dance from an admitted imposter.
Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings. The Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme. Ah, of course. I should have assumed you had a greater purpose here. This whole affair reminded me of the old days. The blood, the secrecy, the calculations and intrigue. Been trying to tell myself I didn't miss it. But in action, I fear, ill suits me. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I could use help from an operator like you. Believe my specific skills could benefit your efforts as well. I'd propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say? Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it?
Supposing that means no joyrides and no scratching the paint? I can manage that. Until later, Commander.
Excellent. Well then, I am quite ready to leave this place.
I realize you didn't receive the most welcome of receptions here. Well, regardless, I recognize you've done right by us here today, and I appreciate your efforts.
Do you have a specific matter requiring discussion with me that cannot be postponed? I'm rather preoccupied at the moment. That's not... Yes, your assessment is absolutely accurate. Making a final decision over what to prioritize in the construction of this trench, given my current resources, has been a substantially more difficult task than I first estimated. Correct. In this case, standardized algorithms, which includes a Poisson distribution method, using the data we accrued from years of tracking the frequency of different attacks. Unfortunately, I find myself in the extremely unlikely and stressing position of having these algorithms inform me that every type of attack is exactly equally probable, and thus my dilemma. Many, unfortunately, Auntie's human soldiery, raptidons, mantisaurs, scrappers, and even wild arachnids. In summary, many and varied. Alas, I lack the resources and time. I appreciate your input, though. Auntie's forces have pushed us from our initial trench line into our fallback trench, thus making it the new primary trench. Despite the fact that we are currently holding back Auntie's forces at the new, more narrow front, this leaves us in the unenviable position of requiring a new fallback trench. That being said, we shouldn't need another trench line. Our analysis shows us that Auntie simply lacks the resources to push through the current front line. However, there is a vanishingly slim chance that Auntie's has more resources in transit outside of the Arcadian system that we simply haven't accounted for yet.
You're gonna have to hold it in, friend. Privy's out of order. Never fear. I'll get that clog moving soon enough. They don't call me the pipe doctor for nothing. You mean you want the pipe doctor to practice real medicine? On real people? Why, this is the greatest day of my life. The human gut is the most compact and efficient sewer system ever. A plumber's dream. My dream. But don't get me wrong, it would be an honor. I'm just not sure that I'm ready for that kind of challenge. You really think so? Very well. Sometimes it takes a plumber to do a doctor's job. If Matriarch's Mercy cries out in need, then the pipe doctor will answer. See you there, friend.
What in the scrupulous name of profitable deductibles do you think you're doing? Just who are you, and why are you walking through my triage? Some kind of rocket attack, or maybe an orbital strike. Can't rightly say for sure, but it came from above and hit us hard. Don't suppose you're looking for a way to help. I'm absolutely desperate, and I'm sure I could rustle up some suitable reward if you helped. We need compression coils. The attack left more wounded than I have supplies for, plus a hefty amount of Zeranium poisoning, and the coils on our autodocs have worn out. Without them, they can't convert raw materials into the medicaments needed to help the soldiers heal. As many as you can. There is so much more work than I can handle. It's only by getting these 3 defunct autodocs back online that I can hope to save most of these folk. Auntie dropped extra compression coils in pods from orbit to help our advance, but they landed everywhere, though I heard some are in the no man's land between the battle lines. Many thanks, but please hurry. These folk ain't got much time. You're back. Please tell me you've had some luck in finding us compression coils. Lovely. Every coil gets us that much closer to saving these lives. It's a start. Thank you. Please, come back when you found more.
Did that blast give me a dunder? Or is some damn stranger walking into my area of operation right after we've been attacked? You got any reason I oughtn't have you shot? Help? Help how? Help is an offer to contract your services to a disadvantaged party with the aim of grossly inflating your prevailing rates? Help like that? Yeah? And what exactly makes you so sure of that? Well, I suppose I appreciate your honesty. But even if I believe you, so what? The damage is done, and it's not like I'm mounting a counterattack. Seriously? You expecting me to ring up Auntie and tell her, hello, Maven of all marketing? Just letting you know that this scrutinization officer says everything's hunky-dory. You've clearly been out in the Dorado sun for too long. Ah, an offer for transaction. Now you're talking my language. Didn't reckon you as someone sympathetic to our ways. It just so happens we might be able to trade services. Normally, I wouldn't admit this kind of weakness. It's bad practice. But I'm really in the squeeze, and you might be useful. Lately, my luck's been right miserable. I got enemy sneak attacks. I got grunts murdering each other. I got unsanctioned power struggles. And it all risks reflecting badly on me. You cut down the number of issues that are vexing me, and I'll send you a word of peace and harmony up the chain. What's good for me is good for you, see? Quid pro quo. Or, if all that sounds like too much work for you, there are other ways to curry my favor. Make me believe your good intentions. Encourage me to take your side. That bomb that hit us, it was filled with uranium. So not only did it kill us the good old-fashioned way, it also caused serious poisoning. My contract medicalist over there is literally up to her elbows in it, her hourly rate is ridiculous, and our damn autodocs have gone on the fritz from the workload. You get her the compression coil she needs to make the autodocs work, and that should cut her billable hours in half, and then I'll send you a message. There's been a murder at one of our forts. A trooper's accused of poisoning her senior officer for some preposterous reason. Problem is, I'm already short on medical specialists. The last thing I can do is waste one for days just to find out if she did or didn't toxify him. Go find out who done it, and I'll send the message you're asking for. This is gonna make no more sense for me saying it than it's gonna make for you hearing it, but apparently, the senior officer at one of my forts is a mantisaur. A real, actual, pincer-faced, carapace-having mantisaur. Not a half-human one, or a psychic one, or a talking one, just a regular old head-munching mantisaur. Anyways, there's some dispute over who his second should be, and he can't exactly decide himself. So go sort it out for me, and I will gladly send your message. Now, you know that's an irrevocable deal, right? As in, please remember it's legally binding, and I will sue you if you fail to get it done. So don't let either of us down.
People are dying, and all he cares about is what he can get out of it. Wish I could say I was surprised.
Hello, friend. Welcome to the most beautiful half-built landing platform on all of Dorado. Simple, friend. You see any sergeants barking orders? Any of those spidery crystal critters lurking in the rocks? Any order forces storming the area? No, you do not. The perfect blend of just close enough to the base to be safe, but not close enough for any officers to get nosy. And I still get paid the same as if I was a frontliner. You've got me there. I sure could use a bottle of Zero-G brew if you have one. A few bits and my gratitude. Oh well, not likely to die of thirst before my shift is over. Would have been nice, though. Ah, there's the real beauty of it. They won't. The Order's anti-air guns are a damn sight better than we expected. There's no reason to finish the landing pad on account of nothing can land. Command won't go back to building it until the war is won. Then I'm in no danger of being shot anyways. Maybe I'll even get a promotion for doing such a good job keeping this place safe. Oh, no doubt about it, friend. They've been blasting our landing craft out of the sky right, left, and center. I can't even imagine the total cost of it all. But as long as my bits keep rolling in, why should I care? Someone else is getting demoted for that, not me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to get back to my favorite pastime, doing absolutely nothing and getting paid for it.
Yes, I hope you're not here to apply for employment. I'm already overwhelmed by the sheer volume of peons I'm forced to oversee. And if you're here as a spy, know that the temporary ceasefire is on tenuous footing. So if you stay, it's likely just a matter of time before I'll be stringing you up. Save me. From him. Oh, no. Not only is he not a threat, he's actually our senior officer. Allow me to introduce Strategic Ingestment Executive Wojciech, senior most representative at Fort Endurance. Now you're starting to sound like some of the wagabouts I've got under my command. Why would I be anything but serious? Executive Wojciech has been part of this unit since he was just a pupa. As he grew, he's shown exceptional bravery, stoic stalwartness, and strong leadership. It's earned him promotion after promotion, until our last battle against the Order deprived us of our former chief executive and left him as the senior-most trooper. The executive welcomes you, but would like to know what your business is in our base. There's no dispute. Executive Wojciech is in complete charge of the fort. His orders, which I interpret as his junior officer, are executed without question. My experimental Mantisaur graft lets me speak with him as easily as I do with you. He emits pheromones that my antenna can detect. He wouldn't be much of a commander if he couldn't communicate with the troops.
That is exactly what he's doing.
Designer Bradford, you've been warned about disrespecting the chain of command.
And you've been reminded, repeatedly, that I'm not under your chain of command. I'm technically under the Mantisaur, but that's got nothing to do with you. I just wanted to make it clear to our newcomer that you are full of shit. You've always been full of shit, and you will always be full of shit. So you're best ignored entirely.
That is quite enough, Designer. Yes, well, please excuse our curmudgeonly biologist. She's been a pill ever since the promotion that made Wojciech outrank her. Still, that ugly moment behind us, it's a comfort to my mind that you're here. Executive Wojciech has an assignment we're desperate to have done, but it can only go to someone outside our chain of command.
Ugh, not this crabble scat again. There is zero chance you're right. Zero. And this brilliant assignment of yours didn't go so well for the last group. Yes, I have been trying to get Durbin to relieve this duo of command for months. But the lives they've lost with this insanity finally got his attention.
Bradford, how dare you undermine me? I mean, us, like that. Wojciech can sense that there are some kind of mutated mantisaurs over yonder, and he wants us to secure one of their pupas to raise as his own.
Oh, stop it. The creature doesn't want a pupa. He doesn't want to breed a superior race of mantisaurs. He wants to eat meat, excrete the excess, and be left alone. That's it. Even if he could ask for a pupa from a rival nest, he'd probably just eat the law-be-damned thing to cut down on competition. He's a bug, nothing more. But the only way to prove it to our command is to have you run this fool's errand. Once it's shown to have been a colossal waste of resources, they'll put me in charge.
That is enough. One more word in question of our executive officer, and I'll have you pitched over the edge with the rest of the enemies we've conquered here.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. With it, Wojciech can raise a Zeranium-mutated Mantisaur army, which will be even more dangerous than the ones Auntie's Choice evolved from the Halcyon stock. We need you to infiltrate the mutated Mantisaur nest, secure a mutated pupa, and bring it to me here. Do that, and I, and Executive Wojciech, shall make sure you are well rewarded for your efforts. Look in the nest to the east. That'll have your best odds. It's where Wojciech feels the pull from the strongest.
Feels a pull, Wentworth? Seriously? What am I saying? That makes the exact amount of scientific sense I'd expect from you. Excuse me? May we speak a second? Apologies for my outburst, but I had need to warn you that an earful from Wentworth is akin to sucking on an inhaler full of ammonia.
Hey, what are you two talking about?
Nothing of your concern, Wentworth! Just ignore him. He was clever enough to pretend that Graft lets him talk with the beast. So overnight, he upstarted from simple trooper to de facto commander of this installation.
You know it's impolite to whisper, right?
But I've studied him extensively, and it is most assuredly nothing but a play for power. I am. I've watched for patterns of behavior that would demonstrate higher communication, and they don't exist. So, catering to his will isn't going to do anyone any good. Conversely, the scientific value of studying the mutated pupa he wants is exponentially greater than any possible use he could have for it. Bring it to me, and not only will I match any reward he offers, but you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that it will serve a much greater purpose. I'll have to... Oh, fine. Fine. If scientific discovery and the betterment of future products isn't enough for you, I'll pad your coffers a little something extra. Just, please, bring me the mutated pupa.
Well, what have we here? You couldn't look less Auntie's choice if you tried. So what are you doing in our fort? Durbin sent you? Why? You certainly ain't a certified pre-inhumation inquisitor. Oh, lovely. And just what is it you think you can do for me? You ain't even carrying a masticating tissue scrutinator. You just gonna guess what manner of poison killed folk? So far as I can tell, it's a simple case of killing to get ahead. Chief Cuddy and Trooper Bardot were sharing a table for supper. There was nothing wrong with the food. The whole fort ate the same thing. And 10 minutes later, Cuddy was bloated, discolored, and looking all to law like he'd been poisoned. There are no other suspects, just Bardot. She swears she's innocent, but they always say that. And I can't possibly figure how that could be. Yes. I walked over, saw Cuddy's body, saw Bardot screaming her fool head off, and I put her in cuffs. Case closed. Now, I'm waiting for a specialist to affirm my theory, so I can get on with my other 1,000 duties need doing. You wouldn't believe what this mess is taking out of my schedule. You're welcome to try, but I can't figure what good you'll do. I guess it's possible you could make Bardot confess, but I'm not going to be holding my breath. Honestly, anything that keeps you busy and out of my hair is fine by me.
Welcome to Bonnie's Barely Above Board Battlefield Bazaar, brought to you by Auntie's Choice. We know consumers are highly discerning in how they spend their bits in an active war zone, and I really appreciate you dodging literal bullets to bring me your business. And to show my gratitude, I'm offering you and only you a one-of-a-kind, once-in-a-lifetime, exclusively discounted rate of 4/5 of Auntie's standard profiteering rate. Only so long as you tell nobody of this amazing offer. If everybody got that deep a discount, I'd go out of business for sure. So, what will you be buying today?
Hey, stranger! Please, you gotta help me. They're gonna railroad me into a guilty verdict. Then I'll be declogging sewer sediment tanks until I'm dead enough to mulch. They're saying I murdered an officer, but they don't care what I've got to say about it. They just want me locked in here until they pen me in the sewers. I've absolutely no notion as to why. I've never been in no kind of trouble. I'm a good employee, I do my job, and I don't complain. And honestly, I actually like Chief Cuddy. He'd get you extra shifts if you asked, and only ding your pay if you really screwed up. And sometimes, if you really had to go, he'd even cover your bog breaks, pro bono. I'd never have hurt the chief, even if you offered to pay me to do it. I don't think nobody killed Cuddy. I was there. That's why they think I did it. And he was fine. Well, he was fine up until he wasn't, and then he just swole up and died. But the way he swole up, it's something Cuddy always said might happen. Only it don't make no sense that it happened now. We were eating chow at our post. Cuddy asked me to try his because it tasted funny. But I tried it and it was fine, just like mine. Then he just swole up, turned blue, and died. I made a ruckus, which called everyone in, and all they saw was him dead and me fine. So Security Officer Abner charged me with murder and threw me in here. It was exactly what Cuddy said would happen if he ate Crabble. He was deathly allergic to Crabble. But we ate Sisty stew, fresh from the can. And ain't no Crabble in Sisty stew. Yup. Cuddy had told everybody about his allergy, repeatedly, over and over, constantly. Nobody would have served him Crabble knowing that. But that's still gotta be how he died. So I need you to talk to Security Officer Abner, remind him of the allergy, and let him toss all my gear. He won't find Crabble anywhere. No, that was days ago, and they tossed out the rest of the stew. So I don't even know if the docs will still be able to tell it was allergies that did in Cuddy. He will. He has to. It's the truth. I didn't murder nobody. Please, make him understand.
You've returned. I mean, we knew you'd return. We've been waiting. Did you bring the pupa for me? Wonderful. Now the formation of our new Mantisaur regiment can begin in earnest.
No. You really don't want to do that.
Biologist Bradford, that is quite enough of...
Listen to me. The man is a charlatan, a fraud. And if you give him the specimen, it will be forever lost to his ignorance. And while it's not unique, it is difficult to acquire. The Mantisaur doesn't want it, nor could it ask him for it. Wentworth only knows it was there because I made the mistake of telling him it was almost a certainty. If you give it to him, it will be wasted. If you give it to me, the science I will perform will fuel biological weapon advancements currently only dreamed of.
Bradford, I am the commander of this base, and you will...
You are nothing but a bottom-ranked trooper who has lied his way to power, but your tongue betrays your grift.
That is enough. Me and the Mantisaur are one. Whether I speak or it speaks, it's all the same voice. And right now, we are both contemplating some frontline service for you. I will take the pupa now, if you please.
Oh, thank law. You've made the right choice. And the research I'm going to do with this little beauty will allow me to retire rich, respectable, and powerful.
Good luck breaking the news to Wojciech.
Well, that certainly was a horrific bit of chaos. But you made the right decision by giving the pupa to me. The research value it will provide is enormous. Absolutely. And that research will bring me promotions, wealth, and status that is long overdue. My genius will ascend the corporate ladder, and they will be lucky to have me. Yes, you have your bits, and I will have a long, illustrious career spanning decades. Works out perfectly for both of us. And now, you should be off to your next adventure.
You're back? Why? Oh, is that a fact? Then why don't you elucidate my shitty judgment, genius? What? How could that be? I made the stew myself and every one of us ate it. What? That's ridiculous. It was nothing but canned cysty stew. Stew that I Oh. Oh no. Oh, did you say Crabble? Well, he told everyone that. But that ain't exactly the same as it actually being true. See, Cuddy was what you'd call a complainer. He complained about the food. He complained about the weather. He complained about his bunk. He complained about everything. He's also somebody's nephew. Some junior executive. And if you gave him reason enough to complain about you, he'd take it up with his uncle, and it'd come back down in your head. Half his gripes were really nothing but reasons to grouse. But if you push back too hard, he'd run to his uncle. So most of us just ignored him, assuming he was constantly full of it, and didn't think twice about doing things like stretching the stew with canned Crabble stock. What? No, it was an accident. Nobody would have, at least nobody'd mean to. Law, his uncle is gonna see me transferred to mid-operation engine cleaning on the claim. Unless... Hey, how'd you like to make some bits? Some real bits? And keep a tragic accident that'll lead to the end of a promising career. Total secret. Well, no. Not yet you haven't. See, I can't just let Bardot go. There'd be questions, accusations, and assumptions as to who was responsible, and that's no kind of solution. And even worse, since there's apparently nobody coming to do an autopsy, I might have to just send Bardot to the claim to start her sentence on all available evidence. Absolutely. That's only fair. I'll both free Bardot and compensate you for your effort. So we got this thing. An acidic dematerializer that we use to melt mantisaur dung, so it don't call in the local wildlife. But it'll actually work on anything. That means if someone used it to melt Cuddy, there would be no body, which would mean no autopsy, which would mean no evidence, which would end the investigation. I'd do it myself, but my boss said she's on her way for a surprise inspection, so I can't leave. But if you go find one and melt the body, I'll make it worth your while. Well, then she's cleared, of course. No more questions asked. She goes free, you get bits, I get on with my life. Deal? Thank Law. You'll find Cuddy inside the tower, but you'll have to sneak your way past the guards. It simply wouldn't do for me to announce your intentions to the base. Then come back and tell me when I've got no more evidence to hold Bardot and can draw this whole thing to a close. I've been told Chief Cuddy's corpse has gone missing, which is a surprise to both of us, I'm sure. Thank you for your help. You've saved 2 careers today and allowed us to put this whole miserable affair behind us. Does that mean you don't want my bits? Right, you're a hero. A selfless martyr. So long as you make good on the deal, whatever you need to tell yourself is fine with me.
You did it! You actually did it! I can't believe you could get it done. Thank you, thank you, thank you! I'm so glad to be out of that damn cage. Framing me? Who? Do you know what happened? That good-for-nothing rung leech! That dunderhead! I can't believe he'd... Oh, he's about to learn that poor Chief Cuddy's not the only one with executive contacts in the family. My cousin's a VP in R&D who used to head testing on Numa. Abner's going to spend the rest of his downright miserable life wishing he just confessed and took what's coming. That makes me extra thankful for what you did. If it'd been left in Abner's hands, he'd have made sure they'd thrown me in a hole so deep, even the Sprats wouldn't come visit.
If you're planning on heading into that cave, I recommend finding some other place to practice your big game hunting. It's a mite dangerous even for pros, let alone amateurs. A lot. And the Varachnid kind. Big, spider-like critter, mean as all get out. They ain't dumb neither. You gotta be on your toes to fight one of them. With their razor-sharp claws and gleaming carapace, Varachnids possess a terrifying kind of beauty. They really are the apex predator of this world.
Architect's balls! That was some fine killing! Would have preferred you'd left 1 or 2 of those traitorous miscreants for me to sharpen my blade on, but no matter. Serves me right trying to help those sorely lacking in the gray matter. But they rightly paid for their transgression. Betraying someone sent by the exalted leader of the glorious dawn herself warrants a painful death. Name's Azza. You are? We are simply a group of enlightened individuals seeking to spread the truth of the rifts, despite our persecution by those who seek to keep the masses aimless and distraught. The rifts only seem destructive because we are looking at them from the point of view of imperfect, mortal bodies. To be deconstructed by a rift is to be reborn in perfection. None whatsoever. All I know is that they were planning on killing me by filling my room with Zeranium gas. I was here to help them scavenge for old order technology to further investigate the wonder of the rifts. The rifts are a device of the architect to hasten humankind's perfection. They reduce whatever comes into contact with them to mathematically perfect information. We are nothing but that information, but we cannot see that because we exist in a chaotic and disordered reality. The universe is decaying, and our efforts to manage it are futile. The rifts are a perfectly ordered phase of existence. No chaos, no striving, no suffering. Peace and unity with the architect themselves.
Ridiculous. The Rift's existence is an anomaly, nothing more. Their existence begs for correction.
I see no need to respond to such heresy. You are obviously ill-informed. I have similar business at the N-Ray range. These fools were only part of the contingent that betrayed me. I aim to see them pay the same price, though maybe with more disemboweling. I could use your help there, and I'm sure my particular talents could be of service to you. If you'd deign to take me on, of course. Nothing that will live to regret, but it seems like you've already a full contingent with you.
Of course. Not sure it's wise to allow this maniac to join with us, though. Her sense of style notwithstanding. Rest assured, if she crosses you, I'll kill her.
Ooh, I like you. I can tell we've lots to talk about.
I doubt that very much, dear.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go kill us some traitors.